Ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back. This is Drew Sitzwith. Tonight I'm joined by Ross Urso.
How's it going, guys? I'm excited for this, Drew. Thanks for having me.
So this will be fun. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. You got me a nice Starbucks today. This is beautiful. Can we break this down for the intro?
Yeah.
Venti honey citrus mint tea.
But they call it medicine ball. So It's just that time of year where some people might be feeling under the weather if you have a scratchy throat. I always like it when I'm sick, but since we're going to be talking for about an hour on here, I'm like, why not have some nice clear throats for you guys?
Yeah, no, I love it.
Pinkies up.
I'm feeling a little... Cheers, brother.
Grazie. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
Woo!
It's delicious.
Hot.
It is hot, but it's good.
Even had a little side quest of how I got this. Like, I got to actually experience downtown Evanston for the first time. I've never actually been down here before.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit weird with the traffic and stop and going, but like then there's just a flood of people and it's just this very wholesome, homey energy.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. That's why I asked you, because you're like, yeah, I'm going to stop at Starbucks over here, which is good. You shouldn't have gotten it and then driven an hour. That would have been dumb. But there's one that's kind of on the way in that's hectic, chaotic, but there is a drive-through. So I was kind of hoping that you hit that one, but I'm assuming you went right over here.
Yeah, the one where I walked into the shop and everything.
Yeah, which is cool for you, like you said, side quest. That's fun. I mean, that's like why I love being over here. But so that's not even downtown. That's my little walkable kind of intersection. Downtown is like further up, and it's like way bigger and even more people, and it kind of melts with the campus of Northwestern. So like this is kind of my little cool intersection here. But I'm glad you got to see it because I love it here. I try to show everybody, and
So like since we kind of grew up in South Aldrin, Bartlett, what made you pivot to over here? I'm sure you get this question a lot.
Yeah, no, I explain it every single time. So I work over here. I do construction and build houses.
Oh, nice. Huge.
On Lake Michigan. Mm-hmm. So it's closer. It's kind of in between the city and then where I work, which is like further north of here, kind of.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, anyways, let's talk about you. Explain yourself, introduce yourself, tell the people where to follow you, what you do online, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, my name is Ross Urso. I am a freelance film critic. Some call me Rossy J. That's my nickname. And I just started my YouTube channel, TikTok. I'm a freelance film critic. I've been reviewing films for like the past 5 years over on Letterboxd. I don't know if you're familiar with that app.
I peeped your Letterboxd, yeah.
Yeah, so a little quick story, long story long. My friend, who's a dear friend of mine, was just like, Ross, I know you're obsessed with movies, and I feel like you would love this app. You can log films, you can make them diary entries and follow your friends. And I like turn this into like a side hustle hobby without getting paid money. And
yeah, right.
I like was writing essays. So like that's how I knew that like movies, and I'm sure you hear all cinephiles say the same thing, movies are a part of them their entire life. I can go on and on about them. I will never shut up. So yeah, here I am today, and I started my YouTube channel. When did you first reach out to me? Not to, pivot. It was like,
so I feel like you're friends with Clark and them or something. Is that how I got introduced to you? Because you're younger than me, right?
Yes. You graduated in 2017, right?
Yep.
I graduated in 2018 from South Aldrin.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So somehow along the lines, you followed me or I followed you or something, and then I hit you up like a long time ago, right? And and I asked you to do the show, and I forget. I think you just said like, "Oh, I'm not interested," or like, "I've got nothing to talk about," or something. Yeah, whatever. No big deal. I mean, I hit up a million people every single day.
Yeah.
So no hard feelings. But the fact that you circled back or maybe I saw you posting your videos or something. I was like, "Oh, cool." So then either I reached out to you or you reached out to me again. I
reached out to you because I'll tell you what, I am not that dude that likes to just kind of goes for no reason. But when you reached out and said, I'd love for you to be a part of the podcast. Initially, I was like, well, what am I going to talk about? So I in my head, I was like, I need to have something so I can talk to you about.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'll give you your flowers. I know you want to make this about yourself, but Drew, there's something I admire about you. I'm not just doing this podcast because we kind of just were in the same high school, but you're so good at, not to glaze, but you're so good at just finding these interesting people that are normal, and you have these very civilized conversations. I really appreciated that. So I'm like, you know what? I got to come on, have a genuine conversation.
No, this is great. And you keep telling me how excited you are to do it. And so like, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. This is a big deal. Yeah, he is doing my show. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I get to be here, but Drew sits with. Come on now.
Yeah, no, this is going to be great. Okay, so you said you've been doing it for like about 5 years reviewing movies. So obviously, let's like get way back. What's like pivotal childhood memory movies? Did your parents take you to the theater? Was it just like hanging out as a family on the couch? Did you just like watch movies by yourself, or like what's like your cinephile origin story?
I'm glad you asked that. I did just make like a 20-minute YouTube video on my full elaborate story. If you guys, no, and this is not to like say I'm not answering the question, but like if you guys want to hear my full elaborate story, because I'm going to try to, condense it down, because I could talk about hours. Like it really has been a long journey to get to this point, but if you guys want to go and check out my full just story, I dropped my first ever video, because when people find me in the future, I want to have that first video just to, have my life story. But to reiterate and give you the spark notes version,
I should have done that 3 years ago.
No, it's okay, but that was like the thing. It's
a good idea.
Yeah, it's especially now because I'm just like cranking out the reviews and editing, and that stuff takes a long time. But to answer your question before going too off a tangent, it all started just as a kid, as we all like to do as kids, going to the movie theaters. Mm-hmm. It was that 2-hour vacation where you get to just turn your brain off and escape into another world. Like, who doesn't like that? So that quickly turned into having all my birthday parties over there.
Nice.
Instead of just having people over my house. My parents were never really a fan of a bunch of people trashing my house. So I just had them hosted at the Charlestown Theater in St. Charles. Have you ever been?
Of course, yes.
Still a loyalty member.
See that those colors. It was like pink and green tiles or something, right? Yep. And yeah, interesting. So in that little party room, you would have your parties there? It's like a little kid, or how old?
Yes. Oh, I mean, since I was 5 years old. I mean, my first true memory was when I hosted a birthday party to see the movie Surf's Up. Have you seen it?
I feel like I have seen Surf's Up. That's like penguins surfing, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like, it was like Happy Feet and Surf's Up came out at the same time, and then like Happy Feet just like got way bigger, maybe?
Yes. Okay, yes, you hit it on the head. But to, hammer my point home. No, you're good. I love this off-tangent conversations. Those are the best, right? Yeah. You go from point A to point Z to point K, but the manager over at the Charlestown A team gave me the privilege of turning on the projectors for my party, and there was something that was so transformative about that experience. And everyone, because I was like on like the higher level, and all the theater was looking down or up at me, I just felt superior and powerful. I'm like, man, movies really have that magic. So that was the first story.
Yeah, that is so cool too, because it's like, okay, not are we just going into this world for 2 hours? I'm the one that gets to take us there almost. Like you're hitting the play button. That's really cool.
Yeah. Wow. And then it just kind of turned into, as a kid going to movies and whatever I'm able to see. I was a big Star Wars fan, and I was big into the franchises. I wasn't like a cinephile movie nerd for like the first like maybe elementary school years of my life.
Like your top movie was When Harry Met Sally, right?
That's my favorite rom-com of all time.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to have a well-rounded, like on Letterboxd, you have like the 4 favorites. I don't want to be that one-trick pony that has like all 4 horror movies or all 4 action.
It's all Will Ferrell movies.
Will Ferrell, yeah. I get so excited that I sometimes stumble my own words. Good catch, though. Will Ferrell's all right, though.
No, you didn't. I don't think you said Will Ferrell. I was just making a joke. Like,
I know.
If that was your top 4.
Yeah.
It's like kicking and screaming, Blades of Glory.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny. But my point of bringing that up is like, you probably didn't watch that when you were 10 years old. You were probably watching Iron Man or whatever the fuck,
Yeah, whenever someone brings up Marvel, I just like, it makes my skin crawl. Not at you, but like just generally like, oh, you see the new Marvel movie, bro? Just tell me you don't go and watch movies enough. You know?
Also, like, you're the problem. You're what's ruining the movie. You're what ruined the movies, basically, right? I mean, COVID probably put the final nail in the coffin there, but anyways, I'm sorry. I saw Star Wars 3, I guess it would be considered, in the movie theater I feel like it was like Christmas break or maybe it was for my birthday or something, but that was like mind blowing. I'd love to look up the year for that, but like that first opening battle where like in space, I mean, it like blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy, you know? I also remember seeing the movie Cars at a drive-in. That was pretty cool. That was like old timey kind of thing, but then it was also like Cars is like a great movie, obviously as well. Yeah. So I remember that's another good little kid movie moment for me. But I don't know what else. What are some other favorites? Like as a kid, I guess growing up into your love of movies.
You literally spoke my favorite movie of all time into existence, Revenge of the Sith. I'm going to get into the movie that like changed my perspective from like going to get entertained to like a deeper appreciation. But like I can recite the entire movie of Revenge of the Sith.
That's incredible.
Like we could go verbatim. We could do Anakin and Obi-Wan. You turned her against me.
I was gonna say the only thing I really know from that is like I have the higher ground or something, right?
Don't try it.
Okay.
Yeah. See what I mean?
No, that's great. That's great. Yeah, what a great movie. And people kind of trash the prequels, right? Those are like, well, now they're probably not the worst, but
no, because look what Disney did. It's dumpster fire now.
Yeah, I remember also seeing. I think it's Rogue One. That was like the first new Disney one, right?
Yes.
Is that what it was called, Rogue One?
Yeah, then you had Solo, Star Wars story. And then they kind of just, after that abysmal sequel trilogy treatment where like there wasn't even a cohesive director that did all three of them.
It's crazy.
Like, I mean, come on. Then it kind of just turned into fan service. Oh, look at this character coming back. Like, I just thought it was for the wrong reasons they were making the movie. They're a quick cash grab.
Totally. But my point was when I saw, I think it's Rogue One, it was like a fucking shot-for-shot remake of the last movie, I guess it would be like, where they blow up, it's like they blow up like the mega Death Star or whatever, and it's like the exact same fucking plot line. It's like Rebels versus, I don't know. To me, I was like, oh, they're totally phoning it in. It was just that they had a girl Jedi. It was basically like, was what the whole thing was. And that was kind of the whole start of like all that, whatever. So yeah, I knew they were going to be done for. But also like once they had their own streamer, and they could just like pump out all these, like you said, like, oh, each character gets their own show. It's like, oh, it's just going to get watered down, you know, just like with Marvel.
And homework. That's the big thing I think people get turned away by is I have to watch all of these movies just to appreciate the new one that comes out. That's true. Not what it is.
Right. Are you caught up or not? Yeah. Yeah. And Marvel definitely did that too. Where you're just like, I kind of followed with the Avengers, but then all the offshoots, and then, you know, there'd be some line in the theater that you just totally missed because it's like, well, you had to see that movie, you know, 2 years ago or whatever.
We can literally make a whole entire podcast about just, I'm a movie fanatic, but there's a lot of issues, and it's not the typical ones. Like, there's not good movies out in the theaters. There's a lot of deep-rooted issues, but yes, to hammer your point home, you know, viewers just want to go and turn their brain off, not feel like they have to do things to watch and enjoy something to the fullest.
Yeah, homework is the best word. Okay, so what about some movies this year? I know you've kind of been making an effort to see everything that's coming out, right? So like, what have you seen? What's like your top couple movies from the last year?
Yeah, well, my movie of last year was, why am I drawing a blank to it? Oh, Marty Supreme.
Oh, okay, I didn't even see it. Is it great?
Yeah, it's directed by, I think it's Josh Safdie. They did Uncut Gems and Good Time with Robert Pattinson, kind of in the same vein of like stress-inducing films that are anxiety and a character getting into one terrible situation and then going into the next. And then like I went with my best friend's mom to like a rewatch, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out of this," and I was laughing at her like I just loved it. And Timothée Chalamet, he's about to clock in with the best performance at the Academies.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, I know. That one just kind of slipped by me. I'm not a huge Chalamet guy in general, and especially with that, it was like very hyped up. So I was kind of like thinking it was going to be overhyped, you know. But if you liked it, then that's great. I loved Uncut Gems. That was really the first movie where you had that anxiety theme, which is crazy. I wonder if is that like an old like Hitchcock thing that they just like brought back or something?
It's definitely a unique flavor. I mean, Hitchcock he's really good at like misdirecting and writing you to perceive a character in a certain way and then pulling the rug from underneath you. So this is more in lines of giving you that dread feeling. And a lot of these characters with the Safdie brothers, they're douchebags.
Right.
And you still want to see them succeed, but then you're like, these are not good people. So that's what makes it so fascinating.
Yeah, you kind of hate Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. Oof, that movie got ruined for me. We were all sitting watching it at my buddy's house.
No.
And they didn't know that I had never seen it before. It was like 3 of us or whatever. And one guy was just like, yeah, it's fucking crazy. He gets his head blown off at the end. And I was just like, damn it.
It like ruins the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, we were probably like halfway through. So I was just kind of chilling there. And then they kind of made me think like right at the very end, right before it happened, they kind of somehow convinced me like that they were fucking with me the whole time. So I kind of got it, but like not really, you know. I was just like, oh, he really did get killed at the end, you know. Sorry, spoilers for anybody who's listening to this hasn't seen Uncut Gems.
It's only been like 5 years since that film came out.
Right. Yeah, that was great. We just finished Game of Thrones. I'd seen it, but she had never seen it before. And just that whole thing of just like every character you love gets killed, you know, like the entire time. What? How could they kill? I'm like, Riley, you just accept it. Every character you like is going to get killed.
Hate to burst your bubble, but I've not even seen Game of Thrones.
Oh, man.
Is that a pierce to the heart?
A little bit. I understand movies versus TV is different, but it's the best TV show. And it's made like a movie. I mean, it really is. It's so cinematic, and I mean,
I believe it. And
character development is insane because you have, I don't even know how long it is, 200 hours or something of character development versus like 2 hours, you know? So, no, it's great. And it's not like each season is only like 10 episodes, or the first season's like 6, the last season's 6 episodes. Like it's very palatable, and it's not too much homework, like you're saying. But anyways, back to movies.
Yeah, well, while we're on the subject of that, I get this question a lot. Like, why don't you watch more TV shows? And I always will be down to watching a TV show, but because of the nature of what I'm doing, where I want to watch new movies on top of new movies, because my mission is to get people into movie theaters. And on the flip side of that coin with TV shows, it's in a whole investment. That's all you're watching. And
interesting.
Yeah, so it's not that I don't, like, I've seen Dexter, that's my favorite TV show of all time, Breaking Bad, of course,
Sure.
The Boys I watched, I'm really hyped for the last season of that. Nice. I'm a big Friends guy, ironically, because my name is Ross. That's like my elevator pitch if someone wants to remember my name. I'm like, hey, I'm Ross, like the Friends TV show, and that always gets them.
Were you named after Ross?
I'm not named specifically, like after Ross the character. My dad's name is Ross. Like my full name is Rossi with an I. But
yeah, because you're Italian, right?
Yeah, yeah. My last name means bear in Sicily.
Got the chain out. Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, but everyone's like, you're like the whitest guy ever. Like, how are you Italian? But I guess my loud voice makes up for that.
Sure. Maybe you're Northern Italian or something. Have you ever been to Italy?
I want to. I definitely want to. I'm putting this out into the universe when I find my significant other. I feel like it's a good honeymoon spot.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it looks beautiful. I've never been either.
Like, and the crazy part is everyone that's in Europe, they live long, happy lives because of all the natural foods. Yeah. They're walking a lot. Like, forget about it. Come on. Like, think of all the things that are in our foods and our over portions. Like, that's another tangent. But
yeah. I know you're pretty health conscious as well.
Yes.
So, any traveling in general before we go back to movies?
Yeah. I've been to the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Oh, cool.
Not to go down the rabbit hole, but I have laid my eyes on the Epstein Island.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've seen that. And it was just like one of those like casual things. I was doing like a snorkeling thing. My best friend's family, they have a timeshare down there in the Virgin Islands, and we went snorkeling, and it was a nice big boat, and they're like, hey, over here is Jeffrey Epstein's island, and it's huge. Like, you think it's like this tiny little thing, but I got to see that little house that all the terrible
temple.
things in. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Little St. James. That's what the island's called.
Yes. Yeah.
So they have a timeshare. They're like, oh yeah, we haven't seen our neighbor Jeff in a while. I wonder how he's doing.
This was before all like the files came out. Like this was like 3-4 years ago.
Whoa. But so he was still dead probably. Mm-hmm. Are you a doc guy? Did you ever watch that doc? I think it's called like Blood and Money or something.
No, and that's another thing. I need to watch more documentaries.
Oh man.
I just watch feature films, and I'll watch maybe 1 or 2 TV shows a year, if that.
Yeah. Well, I love your idea of movies, and I like the variety and bouncing around. Riley probably isn't into that. She would much rather like just settle into something and have something that we know. Like, you know, obviously like You go, okay, what are we gonna watch tonight? And then you keep rolling, and then you never find anything. And you waste 20 minutes looking. So the show thing is just the easy. Okay, we're doing that. You know, we're watching Sopranos. You know, just click it. You know, but. Yeah, I guess I want to get into more movies. Also, like classic. Like, do you have a list of movies that like you're like trying to check off?
Oh, brother, I have like 300 movies on my app. I could show it to you after the pod. That my toxic trait is someone will recommend me something, and I'm sure you fall victim to this too. How many times has someone been like, "Hey, you should watch something. I think you really will like it." And I tell them now, because instead of just saying, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll get around to it," it goes in one year and out the other. Because there's just something about the principle of someone else recommending you something rather than you discovering it on your own terms. There's something so gratifying about that. Like, for example, my favorite movie of 2024 was The Substance. Have you seen it?
No.
Great body horror movie. It's my favorite horror movie of the decade. I'm a big horror movie guy. Yeah. And just to give you the story of that, I went to see The Substance opening night. I heard all these crazy word of mouth expressions saying it's the most shocking thing we've seen in years. And I try not to read too much into that with all the hyperboles and stuff like that. Like last year, Longlegs. Have you heard of that movie before?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they were like saying, oh, it's like the scariest movie and then Silence of the Lambs. Well, that's another thing with marketing now in Hollywood is everything needs to be the greatest thing ever or the biggest piece of doo-doo. So
right.
That film, The Substance, I went all by myself. And like 95% of the time, I go by myself.
That's great. Good
and
for you.
I went, and there was 2 separate occasions where people got up and left the theater.
Whoa.
And I was like, but I was loving it because the movie, it's basically about this middle-aged woman played by Demi Moore.
Okay.
And it's...
Oh, yeah.
It's about like, aging, and that's something we can't avoid. So right then and there has a great
Perfect
premise.
casting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then you have Margot Qualley, she's one of my favorite actresses working today.
I don't know her.
Yeah, she was in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She was one of the hippies with their feet up and stuff.
Right.
Tarantino with his feet, man. I don't know what it is with him, but...
Yeah. I just saw that acceptance speech, I assume from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think it's Brad Pitt saying it. He's like, thank you this, thank you, Quentin, for all those feet pics or something like that. And then it just cuts to Quentin, and he's just like stone-faced, just like not laughing at all. Everybody's laughing around him.
But Tarantino is like... He's like the film industry's version of Kanye West. The most out pocket stuff, but like he can back it up with some of the best movies of all time.
Yeah, and just like Kanye, he has a concise body of work. Right? He's trying to stick to this 10 film thing, blah blah blah. Similar to Kanye. I mean, he has a lot of albums. 10 albums is a lot, but like he doesn't have like 100 mixtapes like Lil Wayne or something. You know what I mean? Like where like waters down like the greatness. Yeah, no, Tarantino definitely was like, I found him in high school and was like, okay, this is like, like every dude probably, right, who turns 16 is like, I'm going to get into fucking movies. I'm going to watch Pulp Fiction, right? I mean, everybody's seen that poster and stuff. And But yeah, I mean, I love Tarantino. I think he's incredible.
Outside of Pulp Fiction, because I'm assuming that's your answer for your favorite, give me your top 3 Tarantino.
Oh, Pulp Fiction probably is in top 3. I mean, to me, you have to almost like clump them. Like Django and Inglourious Bastards almost are like the same era for me. And those, I mean, I would happily say either of those movies are like the best movie, my favorite movie of all time, easily. But Reservoir Dogs, incredible, right? I saw that one first. That was my first Tarantino movie that I ever watched. I'm like, I'm going to watch his first movie, right? Mm-hmm. Awesome, great. But that's not the same budget as a Django, right? It's not as big. It's not as thematic, you know what I mean? So you kind of have to weigh that as well. Jackie Brown's great too, but to me, that's a cool movie, but it's like, what do you got?
Oh, no, keep going. I'm pulling up my Tarantino ranking. I want to see where...
Oh, okay, okay. Hateful Eight's probably on the bottom. I liked what he was doing, but, it's just too long. Wasn't enough going on. I don't know. I don't know where I rank him now.
So many rankings on my phone. Like,
I want to see yours.
Like literally, I have rankings on top of. That's another thing on Letterboxd where you could just like franchises, directors. I have all of it. But okay, here we go.
Yeah, read it.
My top 3 for Tarantino. Pulp Fiction is number 1. I mean, it's the basic answer, but it's just a flawless movie. Every single scene is iconic. I hate using the word iconic, but there's just no better way of describing it. And initially, the first time I watched Pulp Fiction, I hated it. But then I studied it at community college, and I'm like,
oh really?
Whoa. Like, yeah, some of my favorite movies of all time I like studied and I grew appreciation on. I did an essay on The Dark Knight, and that's the best Christopher Nolan film. Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. I did a project on John Carpenter's Halloween, which is my like definitive favorite movie of all time.
Right.
I can praise that movie to death. But yeah, top 3 Tarantino for me is Pulp Fiction, give me Django.
Sure.
Highly entertaining. It has the most witty and flavorful dialogue. Sure. And I'm a big Carnage Candy guy, which is in translation with gore. Right. And then Kill Bill. Have you seen, they just came out with a 4-hour and 35-minute full-length cut of Kill Bill. They just came out.
I have not, but I should watch that. I personally did not, those were not rewatches for me, I'll say. Not saying that I didn't like it or whatever, but I haven't gone back to it like I have the other movies, I'll say. But yeah, I feel it's like not liking College Dropout or something. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I like all the other stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I do feel left out of the Tarantino files that I don't love Kill Bill, but
Epstein files to Tarantino files. 2 separate beasts, of course.
But right.
Then I got, I do Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained, Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, which that's like the movie squished into ones, because there's part 1 and part 2, and it was initially supposed to be one movie, but people are not just gonna sit. But I had a really good theatrical experience of that one. It just came out like late last year, and they had an intermission for like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, and like one of my favorite moments was there was some sort of teenager that was behind me, and after the first part, when she just picks off all the 88 people, this dude's like, oh my God, this movie's awesome. And I was just like, yes, I wish I could just experience that for the first time again.
Right.
Tarantino's brilliant, so I do that. And then I have, it's a tie between Reservoir Dogs and Inglourious Bastards. I have Bastards at my number 4, then Reservoir Dogs. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood then follows. Jackie Brown, underrated. Hateful Eight. And then I would say his worst is Death Proof. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen it. And I've also not seen, what's the one that he like co-wrote, True Lies or something? Or
no, True Romance.
True Romance. Mm-hmm. Yes, I've never seen that either.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel about that? What is it, Death Ride?
Death Proof, yeah.
Is that his actual first movie, or am I?
No, it's a Grindhouse film. Like, he was in close collaboration with Robert Rodriguez. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He did the Sin City movies and stuff like that.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Granted, I haven't seen the film in a number of years.
Right. You could rewatch it and be like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
So first time I saw it, Napoleon Dynamite, I was sick as like a little kid, and my dad like got me a movie and was like, this is so fun, you're gonna love it. And I hated it, and I just always equated it to me being sick. Watched it later, most quotable movie of all time. You know, it's like it became like a family movie. We always joke around about it. You know, Tina, you fat lard, all this stuff, right? So but it is funny that if you watch it again, and it's also so hard to watch a movie a second time. You're like, I want to see something new, I want to see something different. You know, it's hard to be like, all right, let's unpack this again. But
yeah, that's why when I review movies, there's a certain part of my score. Like, people always are like, why are you scoring this so high or so low? A lot of it is, to your point, rewatchability. So, and a lot of people like just have this like ego that they're better than anyone. Everyone's opinion on movies is equally the same. Like, what you like or don't like, it's equally as valid. So let's have this conversation, Drew. So how do you evaluate or view movies? Like, what is your favorite movies versus the ones you don't like? Like, how do you look at it? Is it the cinematography, the acting, entertainment value, etc.?
Yeah. The older I get, the more the cheese, the bad acting, the bad writing takes you out of it completely. At least me.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be a big Marvel blowout, awesome visual movie. And that can be distracting too. CGI can like really distract you and take you out of it as well.
Taco Bell cinema, as I like to call it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, it's like fast food cinema, you know? Like, let's take the analogy of you going through the drive-thru. It's okay once in a while, but you got to dabble. You got to venture out. That's why earlier when I was like, you were talking about Marvel and the Avengers. Like,
off rip, yeah.
It's like, expand your horizon. It's just like same token with people listening to the same artist over and over. Like, listen to different genres.
Right.
Expand.
Also, that's the radio. Like, go find your own shit that you
Right.
like. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I guess I don't know. What would you say would be your things?
Wait,
That help you rank a movie or what?
Oh,
you like
yeah. I'm like forgetting my own question because I'm like processing what you're saying because I'm trying to listen. But
Sure.
yeah, in terms of, I like to have like a metric where 2.5 stars and low, it's like I wouldn't watch this again. But 3 stars and above, I'll watch it again. But
Okay.
I rank it as rewatchability, entertainment value, and then you kind of look into like the performances, the cinematography, the pacing, the editing, how I felt with the movie. Is there a place where it dragged? And just how I left the theater. Like, it may not be the perfect package, but did I walk out getting excited to talk about it? And usually those films, like those are like 4 stars and above.
Gotcha. That's a great point. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like with comedy, like if you go out like on a laugh, it's almost like, yeah, that show was great. You don't even remember any of the jokes really. You're just like, oh yeah, I had a good time. Like, that's also a big part of leaving the movie theater. And do you think watching a movie at the theater can nerf the score? Because you're having a better experience. You're being completely, enveloped in the sound, and you're not touching your phone at all. You're not even going to the bathroom. Like, you're really in it. You know what I mean?
I'm going to teach you a hack, Drew, and you could pass this along to Riley. And you guys out there, anyone that's like, oh, I don't want to sit through a 3.5 hour movie, which our attention span is way, way less.
Yeah.
Here's my method. Don't order popcorn at the movies.
Oh.
I know, right? I get that reaction, but here's the method. Eat a nice, large, beefy meal beforehand. Get full, and you hydrate 1 to 2 hours before. So by the time the movie starts, you empty your system. You don't drink for like the last few hours leading up to your movie.
Right.
And I do the half and half method where I chew gum so I can have that, stimulation of tasting something. And then at the halfway point, like for example, if the movie's 3.5 hours, kind of just casually look at my phone. The only time I do, I convert from gum and I put the piece of gum, it's kind of a weird thing. I put the gum on the top of my like water bottle and then I drink the water bottle. And by the time I'm done with the movie, I have to go to the bathroom. There you go.
Right. Okay. I like that.
It's a hack.
Yeah, no, that is good. I think I'm like just popcorn, M&Ms, just back and forth for like 2 hours straight. I feel like but maybe I should get rid of that. Maybe the chewing the gum thing, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Cause it's like, I was just at AMC the other day and I watched the new A24 horror film Undertone. And I went to go see it at the Dolby Atmos cinema, which that's for like the speakers and stuff.
Yeah.
$25 just for a ticket.
Wow.
But then they have like a thing like at the end of the checkout, $26 for a bucket of popcorn and 1 large drink when I could just sneak a pack of gum and a water bottle for free.
Yeah, and especially if you're going to these movies all the time.
Right.
You can't be balling out every time on candy and popcorn. So that does make sense.
For your health too, Well,
sure, yeah, you're eating crap. Yeah, now every movie theater pretty much has a bar, and so I always am just getting like I get the biggest beer possible that's like some type of IPA.
Yeah,
and
you're
so,
a big hazy guy?
No, it's just high booze content. So I'm I'm only going to have one of them, but every time it's like, oh, I got to piss in 20 minutes. It's just like stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a theater we take the train 2 stops away, right by the train station, and it's AMC, but it's like not been redone. So it's just regular chairs. So kind of sucks, right? But also keeps you a little bit more into it. You're not going to fall asleep if you're sitting in a chair, right? But then we have like a brand new super deluxe theater at the mall that's like 15 minutes away. So I've gone to there as well. Super nice. There's an entire like restaurant in the lobby of the theater, so you can like you said, kind of eat a full meal or something and then go into the theater if you planned it that well. I feel like I'm always like rushing into the movie theater like right as it's about to start, but anyway, so it's kind of cool, 2 different options. But so I've seen a bunch of movies. I've seen more movies in the last year than I've seen like over the last 5 years.
Atta boy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So yeah, I saw
You tell me.
Send Help. Have you seen that yet?
That's my movie of 2026 right now. Loved it.
I thought it was great. Definitely at the end of that, I would say a little bit more cheese coming, more like
That's Sam Raimi though. Like he is cheese.
Sure. The giant like X, she's like, don't go over there. That means thorns or something. And he's like, oh, okay. It's like, obviously there's a fucking house over there, you know, like you saw it the whole time. But I thought it was great. Rachel McAdams was killer, and Dylan O'Brien is the other guy.
Yeah, right? yeah. He plays the douchebag boss.
Yeah, he killed it. I guess I haven't really been following his career recently, but I remember him as like the young kind of tween guy. So it was kind of cool to see him like as like a grown up, I guess, actor.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I saw, of course, One Battle After Another. I've seen that twice now because I loved it so much. So that was like what really got me into it. I thought it was crazy and weird and interesting, and I thought it was fun, similar to a Tarantino, a Pulp Fiction kind of wackiness.
Yeah,
funny. I loved it. What's your take?
So I watched the film twice. I really loved it. It was like my favorite film for most of last year, and then I watched it again, and it went down a couple spots. I just thought it took a little too long to get to the good stuff. I mean, not to say I'm impatient or that like high maintenance moviegoer. Like I'm all for a slow burn or establishing good exposition, but once the film actually gets the plot in motion, it doesn't let up. So like once you get to that desert whole car chase, like talk about a inventive way of filming a chase scene from a car. Because how many times have you seen the whole like shaky cam or quick cut? That's so boring and so annoying, but that was so refreshing. Yeah,
it was so good. And similar to like suspense building and stuff, that was great in that movie. You really did not know where it was going. And I mean, Sean Penn, incredible performance. I mean, he was like, it was great.
His little walk.
I mean, everything he did was just so good. The whole grocery store scene, like black girl. I mean, I love him. I mean, it's
menacing.
Holy shit, it's crazy. The whole Christmas Survivor camper. I mean,
yes.
That was. I mean, there were so many turns, and then you get to that, and you're just like, okay, this can't be fucking real. Like, what is going on? And then now with all the Epstein stuff coming out too, you're kind of like, that's kind of what that was, you know? So I thought it was great. But I've not seen any other Paul Thomas Anderson movies, but I've heard that's a critique of his as well. Like a little long, could have cut 20 minutes.
PTA is one of those directors I have a love-hate relationship with. I love his best movie of all time is Magnolia. He is able to wiggle like 8 different storylines. And it's kind of just, it's very episodic and like back and forth. But you have a star-studded cast, and it's just like, it's seamless, but it's so like unorthodox. It's very good. I highly recommend it. It's 3 hours too, but it's great.
Who's in it? I've heard about it.
Tom Cruise, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Juliana Moore.
All right.
There's more. It's stacked. Like, and you know what the movie reminds me a lot of, and people were like freaking out. Have you seen Zach Cregger's Weapons?
I did not watch Weapons, no.
Everyone was like freaking out like it was the second coming of Christ. Top 10 movie of last year, before I get ahead of myself. Great film. I'm a big horror movie buff, but it reminded me so much.
That's why I didn't watch it, because I heard it was so insane, right?
No, it wasn't like, it was like comical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've seen a couple times Will Dunn has done your podcast, and he's a big Weapons guy.
Okay.
But him and I both agree it was like very comical.
Okay.
And like, but that's the part of me.
Which horror kind of has to have.
I disagree.
Oh, really?
I disagree. When you go to a horror movie, think of the root word horror. What do you think when it comes to mind?
Sure. Blood, scared, screaming.
Disturbed, unsettled, unnerved, sending chills down your spine. Don't get me wrong. There's a right and wrong way of doing comedy. Like the best horror comedy of all time is Scream. I mean, come on. But the meta commentary, that's on my Mount Rushmore too.
I believe it. To me, horror movies, again, you're afraid of the movie. I'm not afraid of the movie. I've seen plenty scary movies. I've seen all the horror movies, right? I guess I haven't, but I've done it. Okay, fine. I personally think that, I don't know if it's the budget or if it's that I know it's a movie, but I just feel like it's too corny. I can't get into it. I don't know. And then a lot of times there is that corniness, or like especially old horror movie would like have like a topless chick in it for no reason or something. You know, it's like it almost kind of like muddied down. And I get that there's kind of a love of that genre blending, right, of kind of comedy, horror, and nudity. Like I understand that that's kind of like a flavor of it, right? Not all horror movies are like that, but I don't know. I was not a guy who was wearing Friday the 13th t-shirt. It
reminded me of like when you were talking about the nudity and all that stuff. Yeah, Friday the 13th. That's templated formula at its finest.
Yeah. So what makes you love it so much? Why did you get into it? Is that another childhood thing? Like as a teen?
Slashers? Oh yeah. So I guess then the story. So I guess we can circle back around to that. So
we got 20 minutes, brother.
Yeah. So in essence, like there was that period when I was just in elementary school, going to the theaters very passively just to be entertained, and I wasn't seeing like your niche directors. I wasn't really doing that.
Right.
But the moment for me, and I'll say this story all the time, is I was 11 years old, and my dad gave me the privilege to watch my first rated R horror movie.
That's awesome.
Before I get further into the story, because I want to hear you, what was your first rated R horror movie? Or not horror movie, rated R movie in general?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't know. I don't know rated R or horror either. I don't know. I remember seeing American Pie fairly young. I don't know if that's rated R or
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
okay.
Are you kidding me?
I figured.
Great film.
I know. I'm trying to remember. Is Austin Powers rated R? I don't think so.
I think it's PG-13.
Okay, but I think there's some nudity in that as well. I remember seeing that pretty young too. I don't know. What about you? What's your story?
Yeah. So my father was like, "All right, you get to watch your first rated R movie," and he sat me down to watch the opening, just the opening of Wes Craven's Scream, and there was something that clicked with me. He only showed me up to the point where Drew Barrymore's guts are hanging out and she's hanging by the tree. He's like, all right, son, go to bed.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, when I was like, I'll never forget it. I was like staring at the ceiling like, what did I just watch? But I love it. Right. So that next day at school, that's all I was thinking about. So this was the following day is how I discovered my favorite movie. So like the Scream gave me the alley-oop to John Carpenter's Halloween. So when my parents went to sleep, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I stumbled downstairs and my dad was like, you're not allowed to watch,
of course,
but without me, especially, I need to see what you're doing at that age, even though I think 11, 12 is a good age to watch that kind of stuff. What do you think about that? If you have kids,
that's honestly perfect, I think. And I personally wouldn't want to sit there with my son watching that. I would almost want to leave it on the table while him and his buddies are having a sleepover, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't tell him it was okay, but if he feels, like he's got the balls to do it, I don't know. But I also see, get it like, all right, son, we're going to watch this movie together. Also, you could get terrified. I mean, you could have nightmares for months,
That's so weird because you said the word terrified and I was thinking Terrifier.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that. But basically with John Carpenter's Halloween, it was like 1 a.m. I watched the ending of Scream because if you guys know, at the end of Scream, John Carpenter's Halloween is playing in the background. I'm like, oh, what's that movie? And I finished Scream and then I decided to watch a double feature with John Carpenter's Halloween. And the best part was I had a blanket over my face the entire time. So I was listening to the movie, but I wasn't watching it, but I still counted as my first time watching it. And it terrified me. So that opened my eyes and saying, what more could film do? How magical, how simple, how atmospheric and intoxicating. And then from there, it's like I was watching anything I could get my eyes on. And then I just trickled to, I was watching all the Friday the 13th, all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. And now I'm like the biggest Art the Clown fanatic ever, man. I'm manifesting that I can get invited to an advanced screening of the Terrifier 4 next year. all my friends and even family think I'm gonna be like a serial killer because I love the most twisted, messed up gore. But I like to think I'm the nicest guy. So
what's your take on Saw?
Okay.
I've seen all of those. That is one that I've seen.
I will say it's kind of like torture porn, but there's still a couple good apples in the bunch. I actually think the most recent Saw, at the time of this recording, of course, Saw 10 is the best one.
Okay. I feel like, I don't know if they all kind of blend together, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like the last one I saw was maybe 2019 or something. I don't know if that would be.
Is that the Jigsaw spinoff?
It might have been. That's actually a good point.
They do bleed all. I haven't looked at it like that. I literally watched all 10 movies in a row. By the time I was done with the 10th film, I wanted to take a bath after every single one.
No, Riley and I did that. That was a bonding experience when we first started dating. It was what are you going to do besides Netflix and chill all day, right? So we literally just saw marathon and she loves it, like kind of stuff. She loves like true crime and like murder shows and stuff. Again, it's just not my flavor. I don't know.
Then honestly, Drew, you haven't dabbled in the right horror franchises. I'll tell you, even like your Halloweens, even though that's my favorite movie of all time, it's wildly like inconsistent. Nightmare on Elm Street, I think it's pretty overrated. Friday the 13th, outside of like 2 or 3 films, I can take it or leave it. Like I'm wearing a part 6, which is Jason going full zombie mode. If you guys want a entry level Friday the 13th film that doesn't take itself too seriously, I always say watch that one because you can laugh at it, but with it.
Sure. Okay, what about Bone Temple? I saw that this year too. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I feel like my relationship with the franchise is reverse of how other people are responding to it. I really liked 28 Years Later. That was one of my favorite films of last year, but people were saying there wasn't enough zombie stuff, but I connected with that story so much because, I mean, Spike's character was kind of going through that stage where he has to go out and grow up and losing parents. Like I lost my dad when I was 21, so I'm so
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good, but I empathize with that character. So anyone that makes the accusation that, there's just not enough X, Y, and Z, like, watch the movie for what it is and judge it accordingly instead of wanting it to be a certain way.
Yeah, I think it was like a story set in that timeline. It wasn't a continuation of explaining the story, I guess. It's almost like a multiverse kind of vibe, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the whole Jimmy Crystal, all that shit was like so crazy. And like that could have been its own like movie on its own. Like those characters, like he could have had a cult of killers and, but I guess it made more sense that it was placed in that universe. But,
well, it's the middle film of a trilogy.
Middle film.
Yeah. So like when I was talking about 28 Years Later, that film coincidentally came out 28 weeks before Bone Temple. And it was so divisive, but they had that second film, Bone Temple, filmed already. So they had it come out. But it bombed at the box office, and now they're like, they're pulling hairs and strings. I don't know if they even have the budget or the capability of filming a third film. How tragic would that be? Especially how we left with Ray Fiennes doing that needle drop with Iron Maiden. That was so awesome.
That was so badass.
Yes.
Okay, so I had not seen the other movies, and I do feel bad that I haven't seen them.
That's okay.
I thought this was the third movie. I thought it was like 28 days later, 28 weeks later, 28 years later. Am I wrong on that?
Yes, and then Bone Temple was the 4th film. So think of it as like there's a new trilogy, and 28 years later is the first film, and then Bone Temple is the middle film.
Okay. So those characters were in the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
So like Spike's the boy, like you're trying to get out of the cult. You learn all about his backstory. So
oh my god,
hopefully I didn't spoil too much for you, but it's a more tender and human story than Bone Temple. That's very cultish.
Okay, that would make so much more sense. I thought, and I feel so dumb now. I was on a ski trip.
You're not dumb.
I was on a ski trip where we were just me and my buddy. We had a couple beers, whatever. And we're like, fuck it, let's go see a movie. Like, why not? We got nothing else.
Right?
We got nothing to do. So we like Ubered there. The guy, our Uber driver, like explained it to us basically as we were going there. So I guess I just got the whole story mixed up. But I thought it was 3 movies and each one was a completely different story. But it was in the rage pandemic or whatever you want to call it. But
yeah, and so then to circle back around, make sure I don't forget recommend, and all you guys that are listening to this podcast, right? If I had to tell you guys the best batting average of a horror franchise, although the film that just came out a couple weeks ago was very disappointing, Scream to me is definitely one of the best. There's not a bad film there, but then Evil Dead, and that's tying to Sam Raimi in Sun Help. Sam Raimi did the Evil Dead trilogy. The first film he made he was in college. He was a 19-year-old kid just stringing up a budget.
That's awesome.
And it's one of the best horror franchises. They're coming out with the new one this summer.
That's awesome. Okay. What would be your movie? Do you want to make a movie? Do you want to be an actor? Do you like what, where could this lead?
Oh, brother, I've got asked this question all the time. I'm going to speak this into existence. It's March of 2026, and it's just a testament, you guys, like just speak your dreams out and you'll make it happen if you put good work in. I want to be a Rotten Tomatoes certified movie critic. I've thought about the idea of filmmaking, but I'm in more I'm in more interest of just talking about them, spreading the energy, because I don't want to see movie theaters die down. What you were talking about with you and Riley, like the element of scrolling and having way too many options, kind of like the dating market, right?
Sure.
There's so many options. There's always something better out there, and there's never just like one thing you could stick to and commit. So I want to get people to go to the movie theaters, preserve the cinemas, so we aren't streaming things, because there's something magical about bonding with people, laughing, screaming. And so to me, my ultimate dream is to be invited to advanced screenings, because we were talking about spoilers earlier.
Right.
I'll tell you a quick story. I know we're wrapping up soon, but this is what turned me into like wanting to go see a movie on Thursday night or as soon as I can. But a little fellow named Isaiah Griffin. I'll never forget you, Isaiah. It was freshman year of high school, and we're talking about Star Wars, and I'm sure you can remember the day before Force Awakens came out, right?
Sure.
I'm sure you know where this is going, but that day I got tickets for Friday night, and Isaiah saw it Thursday night. First thing he does, Han Solo dies. But I couldn't blame anyone but myself.
Right, you didn't see it.
So just spoilers, like, come on, why? And now it's like Twitter, the movie's out 2 days and they're spoiling every little detail. Like, what are we doing here? So
Right. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, I think what you're doing is great. I love your videos. I was going to say you could, do a podcast talking about it, which I think we've done a great job of, and you could probably even make better segments and whatnot. But I think what you're doing of just individual clips, I mean, you're also doing longer videos on YouTube, right? So, I mean, you're crushing, dude. You're doing everything you should be doing.
I'm very small right now, but thank you.
No, I mean, but you have a vision, because that's the other thing. I have tons of people on. Sometimes people are like very put together. Other people are just kind of like, yeah, I do it sometimes, or I do this, or I post when I can, but like you seem consistent. So that was another thing. The Indiana Jones video, I think, might have been when I reached out to you, or maybe we already had this set up and I just liked that video or something. But I love Indiana Jones. Might be my favorite trilogy of all time. I don't know. Lord of the Rings is kind of there too, but so that was just cool. And like, I loved to hear your take on it. And not everybody loves movies, and not everybody loves movies from the 80s, and not everybody, it's
right.
Like, it's such a unique thing. Like if you see somebody, post a song that you also like or something, it's like, oh, like
that's the coolest thing in the world.
We're kind of like on the same wavelength. Like I fuck with that song too, so it's also a personal thing. Like you kind of feel connected. So I don't know. I guess I'm glazing you here a little bit, but I think you're doing a great job.
Consider ourselves even then.
There you go.
Real recognize real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, it's just getting the opportunity to talk about movies. That's a blessing. Like, just like everyone has their own niches and passions, embrace it. I used to be that like closeted kid that was like shy about talking movies. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Like, come on. Like,
or everybody thinks that like the movie you think that sucks is good, and you're like, you guys don't even like
the Terrifier movies. All my friends rip me to shreds on it, but literally there's kills of chainsaws going up butt cracks and like the most insane kills. But I love it because I'm looking at it as like an art form. Like, how do they do that? And it's shock value. Like, I can go on and on about horror, but man, it just gets me riled up talking. I'm glad you like that. So then with Indiana Jones, because I don't want to steer too far off.
Sure.
What's your ranking of the franchise on the spot?
I mean, I love number 3, which it might be controversial.
Not at all, actually. I've gotten a lot of comments saying that I'm a lunatic and crazy. I've had people messaging me that like I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
yeah, is that your take too? Is that your ranking?
No, I have Last Crusade as number 3. I think Temple of Doom is number 1, and then Raiders of the Lost Ark is 2.
No, that's a bad take. Temple of Doom is not the best one. It's great, but it's just not the best one. Outside
of Willie, what makes it not a good movie?
I don't love the stray, and maybe this is just me. I like the Christianity theme for whatever reason. I just think that thread makes sense, and that seems like you're stepping away from it. They should have done a different thing for the third one then, if that makes sense. Like, they should have had a different artifact. Maybe that one was more Egypt. I don't know. And maybe I just watched it less as a kid. I mean, I've seen those movies like at least 20 times each, so maybe that it wasn't in the rotation as much. I think it's great. I mean, the opening scene is killer. They're in Shanghai or whatever, Tokyo, and it's so great. Dr. Jones, all that stuff is so good. But
you ever see Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yes.
Yeah, that short round in adulthood.
I know, yeah. That's a weird one, too. The whole time you're just like...
That's one of my favorite movies of the decade, too. Yeah, it's so good.
I thought it was good. That was one that I definitely forced Riley to watch. And she was like, what is going on? You know, it's like long fingers or hot dog fingers or something at one point. I mean, it's just like... I should probably watch that again to like really wrap my head around it. But.
It's so good. I showed my grandmother that film and she's like, Rossi, I'm never going to take your movie recommendation seriously. That was one of the worst movies ever. I'm like, how? But movies are subjective. My grandma's not right. I'm not right. You just got to have your own opinion.
Yeah, that's true. That's not one that I would show my grandma.
I've shown my grandma. I went to take her to see Longlegs.
Okay.
And
Does she like that stuff?
No, but I just do anyway. I mean, my grandmother, I love you, Nani. But I feel like every time I recommend something to her, she's like, oh, it's terrible. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I can't win. So I guess it's just a generation thing, but maybe it's just because I like all different stuff and the most obscure, shock value or out there films. That's my taste.
Right. Okay, what about Siskel and Ebert? Do you know anything about those guys?
No.
Okay, well now I get to school you. I don't know anything about it either, but basically there were two movie reviewers, like the original movie review guys, and I believe they're from Chicago, and they were like a nationwide show. Maybe they started as a radio show. I'm not sure, but like they became the Rotten Tomato of their time. I'll say. I think they're both dead now. Maybe not, but I think the one guy he got like jaw cancer or something. I'm not exactly sure, but anyways,
look them up. Remind me, I'll write them down.
Siskel and Ebert, you would love this deep dive. They're like the critics, and like the one guy was kind of a dick. And anyways, yeah, I've got nothing more on that. But anyways, there's like a local bar downtown, the Old Town Bar or something like that in Chicago, supposedly where he would sit and like write his reviews or whatever, and like get drunk and stuff. And it's kind of like a legendary.
I can never write my reviews drunk. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you said that you're sober or you just don't drink very much?
Yeah. I mean, I can go down this rabbit hole. I mean, I've dabbled into weed and drinking. I'm not like alcohol or weed forever, but yeah, it took me down some dark paths, and I gave my life to Jesus Christ. And
oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I mean, that was one of the things where I'm like, just take this away from me. It's not up to me anymore. And that's another thing outside of movies about me is I've been devoting my life to Christ, and I've just seen my life turn it around. I know religion is one of those like taboo subjects where I shouldn't be afraid to bring up to, but I also want to be like, I'm still going to love you, even if you're atheist, Buddhist, whatever. It's just, lead with love. That's what Jesus is. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, that's great. I think it's beautiful. You got baptized with Kyle Gallagher, right?
Yeah, that's talk about God and putting people in your life, because I was at a low point where, I was going down a dark path and sinning and living the imposter life, saying, oh, God is the greatest, this, and that. But I was living in this lie. And even the scripture says that, you have to not only have faith, but do good work. And it just so happens I got invited to this church called Mission in Bloomingdale. Yeah. And I don't know how we got it, but my neighbor said that there was this like young adult group called Alpha. I went there and Kyle Gallagher was like, oh yeah, Cameron, who's his now fiance, soon to be wife. Yeah. And something I pray for is having a group of people that are followers of Jesus. And they were like, Ross, you're ready to get rebaptized. And
that's awesome.
It was beautiful.
That's great. How did you grow up? Did you go to church or?
Yeah. You're going to probably hear this story all too often. Grew up Catholic and did CCD class and, kind of just went through the motions, got baptized and confirmation and communion, all that stuff. But I didn't have that relationship with Jesus Christ. Right. So there was that period where my dad had cancer and I was in a lot of bad habit and I just drifted away from God. And I didn't realize that it's not about like going to church as a chore. It's just about following Jesus and having a friend. It's like, I use this analogy to friends that don't have that relationship yet. It's like your best friend, right? What do you do if you don't see them every day? You give them a call every now and then, talk to them, translate that to prayer and go to church, aka go into their house. So it's like, just reciprocate that energy and good things come your way. That's the basic way I can explain it,
Yeah, no, that's great. I think Catholicism completely turns people off to religion in general because they see it as a chore, they see it as annoying, they see it as this thing that's like, it's just too much, obviously.
It is, but people think religion and Jesus are two separate things, right? Like religion's like, I have to be this perfect person and X, Y, and Z. It's not about that. The Bible says that we will always fall short, but in the glory of God, we will be in heaven. You know, we just got to accept Jesus as our Lord and Savior. So
yeah, that's my biggest problem is it's so hard for me to believe that Jesus Christ, who was a man, is also the Son of God. Like it's this hurdle that I cannot get over. And, I've done a lot of soul searching on this topic specifically, and it's just hard, you know. Like I think Christianity is great. I think that religion is good. I think that all religions are probably trying to grasp at the same thing. Each one has flaws and benefits, but I do think Christianity kind of makes the most sense. But again, it's just that thing of like you have to, again, that's the bottom line, is accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and it's just like this weird feeling of like he was a person. And he could have lied. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that small thing. And I understand that everybody goes, oh, okay, well, it's faith. That's what you need to get over through it and all this sort of stuff. And I understand all that. I grew up very religious and whatnot. But anyways, so it's just interesting to talk to somebody who, in the last, year maybe or something like that, you've started going back for a couple of years?
Yeah, it's been a year of following Jesus. In this year, you know, not to like brag, but like in terms of like the blessings and turning it around. You know, I've, been a part of a, alpha group. I've got rebaptized. Now I'm part of the kids ministry and I teach Sunday school. Oh, that's great. And I'm leading a young adult group, helping them get unstuck with life, the class that changed my life. And just kind of praying more. I was going to say, do you care if I pray for you real quick? Like on the pod, is that?
Yeah, let's do it. No, we're exactly at an hour. So that's
it's okay. And you know what's crazy? And you guys that are watching this, you're probably like, oh my gosh, it's this guy. But there's no right or wrong way of praying. There's actually an acronym that I use to pray, and you guys will notice it. It's called the taco method. You ever hear of it?
I have not.
It's being thankful, and then I forget what the A is called, but it's just, I'm praising God of who he is. C is confession. O is for others, and then S is for self. So you guys will notice it. So I'll do it real quick, and I appreciate you sharing your transparency, man. Like, that's the thing. I don't judge you, man. You're not there yet, but you don't have to be. But we just got to love one another. That's what Jesus is. But real quickly, I'll pray for you. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to, first and foremost, thank you for this awesome conversation. Thank you, Lord, for giving me a new friend in Drew. Just, from playing tag back and forth to finally sitting in this room to do this podcast, making this conversation feel so effortless and like I've known him for years. But it's only been an hour, and this is our first time talking to each other. And God, I know it's through you that you've gifted me with the words to say and to just feel at home, and it's through you. And God, you are the person that saves people's lives and loves one another. And God, I just, pray that, you inject love into Drew. And if there's boundaries or things that are in the way from you and him, present yourself. And I also pray to just anyone that doesn't know Jesus Christ. He died on the cross for all of us. And I know it's hard to believe, but God, it's true, and it's through your word that you are close to us, and you are one step ahead. Just when you think that the devil is close by, you are always on our side. And all of God's people agreed and said, amen.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
That was beautiful, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I felt like it wasn't even perfect, but that's the thing. The fear of prayer, you just got to do it, man.
No, that's great. I don't think you're the first person to do that with me on the show, honestly.
Really?
It's kind of funny. Okay. We can't go anywhere from that. So just one more time, tell the audience where to find you, what to watch, how to, get in touch.
Yes. So once again, I'm Ross Urso. Rossi J is my nickname, founder of Rossi Reviews. I'm a freelance film critic from the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I just kickstarted my YouTube channel and TikTok. You can follow me on my Instagram, Ross, ROSSJURSO. So that's just like for my personal posting. I'm not really posting like shorts or anything. I just kind of want to leave that to my stuff like that. TikTok, I'm posting all my short form content because people have short attention span. I want to cater to them. YouTube, YouTube, I do all my elaborate videos. If you're interested in hearing updated movie reviews, franchise rankings, trailer reactions, hot takes, I'm on X, and I kind of just like retweet and talk to fans, and I've gotten some heating conversations. So if you want to be a part of that, that's another place for film discourse. And yeah, guys, if you just want a person that doesn't see himself any better than you, just as a movie fan that wants to share the love of cinema, you have a friend in me. Because like I said, my mission is just to keep the spark of cinema alive and invite anyone that's along for the ride. So that's why I just appreciate you giving me this platform to talk. And you guys, if this is a sign, if you take anything away, go to the movie theaters, because they're a dying breed, and count your days or they're going to be gone. So support them while they're here.
That was great, man. Go to the movies. Go follow him. We are
Yes, sir.
out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir, man.